Hey everyone, this is TCG Collector here. Today I'll show you guys some of the different ways that I store my Pokemon cards. But by all means, there's no one correct way to store the cards, but the objective of this video is to hopefully show you guys some different ways, and then maybe one of these methods will work the best for you. And so let's start with the, I guess, easiest or the most basic one, and that would be like storing your bulk. So where do you guys store your bulk? Well, one of the easiest ways that I found was just storing it in your containers that you would buy your Pokemon products from. So this can be like maybe a tin. So you would put your cards inside, like your bulk. These are usually like your non-hollow cards, just your regular cards that you don't really, I guess, need to sleeve up. I know a lot of people also put their cards in Elite Trainer boxes, so those will work pretty well for your bulk especially. All right, moving into our next option. These are your standard cardboard boxes. This one is by BCW. It has, as you can see, 4 different rows in here. Each of these rows can fit quite a lot of cards, for example. So this is another great way of storing your bulk. They're a few bucks at your local game stores. You can just assemble it quite easily. And yeah, you have like a full container where you can just stack your cards in here. Pretty much it for this. I think that's all I can think of. So the next way is to actually store them in binders. Here is a binder with these Ultra Pro inserts. I have quite a few pages stacked up in here. However, I actually do not recommend having a binder collection using the 3 rings, since they could or they're known to damage cards over like a long period of time if you're not careful with them, especially since these rings could cause a dent in your cards. But however, if you're like some of these cards, like these are all reverse hollows or just some holographic cards that I don't care about too much. So these cards, I could just throw them in there. You know, they're sleeved, and so yeah, they're sort of protected. And yeah, I can shift through them pretty easily. I know a lot of people like to complete full sets using binders and arrange them in chronological order. But I don't really do that. I use binder more as a storage option rather than like a display option. But if you are using binders for better cards, I suggest everyone to look up Ultra Pro binders. You want binders that have the pages built in. I'll show an image up here. Those binders will be like probably your best bet. They shouldn't damage your cards at all, since they don't have these 3 ring prongs. And yeah, so a binder is a great option, especially if you want to display it, or like if you want to look through it and actually see all the cards, or if you want to complete a set, for example, or if you just wanted like a full binder of ultra rares or VMAXs, or you know, a specific Pokemon, whatever floats your boat at this point. But yeah, so binders is another pretty good option of doing that. These inserts for these 3 ring binders are only about like maybe $1 for like 4 or 5 pages or something like that. So they're not too expensive. They do their basic job, but yeah, just remember, if you're putting in better cards or I guess more pricier cards, you probably want to opt in for a binder that doesn't have these 3 ring prongs here. If you guys did like the binder idea, but you guys are kind of afraid that like maybe the sleeves are too flimsy and you wanted to put your cards in the Toploader, I did make a Toploader binder. It's like an actual do-it-yourself Toploader binder. Feel free to check it out. I will link it somewhere up here. And in that video, I basically show you guys how you can make a binder that fits Toploaders. All right, guys, moving into our next way to store your cards. Now we're sort of getting into the bigger leagues. This is a harder case. It's one of these like briefcases with a lock that you can actually program. This is obviously going to be a more expensive solution, but I would recommend it, especially I guess if you want to better protect some of your cards, to actually put it in one of these cases. And so basically you have a lock, combination lock. And if you push both sides, it will snap open. And then in here, you have different slots. So this specific model, it allows me to like take this out and then basically rearrange it however I like so. These ones are mainly for top loaders. For example, here you can see I have some break cards and top loaders, and they actually insert pretty well, just like this. As you can see here, it closes perfectly fine. And yeah, your cards are really safe, pretty rigid. These are pretty sturdy, so you don't really have to worry too much about like you know, if you're gonna drop it or something. And yeah, this is just a bit of a more premium solution, I would say, to store your top loaded cards. Yeah, so this would be kind of like a briefcase style storage solution, a bit pricier, but you know, it has its advantages. All right, moving into our last item. All right guys, this is the bad boy. This is mainly made for PSA graded cards. So yeah, this is a case that holds PSA graded cards. As you can see, like I'm literally holding the camera now because it's actually quite big. It doesn't actually fit into the frame. Again, it snaps open. It has a combination lock. And then here, as you can see, I store a lot of my PSA cards in here. So these inserts are already pre-made. Yeah, so these actually fit my PSA cards perfectly in here. Yeah, they're like the exact width, and they close perfectly fine as well. However, I also use them for other purposes. For example, these fit top loaders as well. So I can also put a lot of top loaders. So here are some of my top loaded collection cards. I put my top loader cards in here as well, since they do fit. And I do think that, you know, I do like the protection and having all these cards together. In addition, I have a sealed pack collection going on as well. So you can see that my packs can also be stored in the PSA case. So I feel like although it was actually made to store PSA cards, it could store a bunch of other stuff as well. So it works with top loaders, it works with obviously PSA cards, and it works with booster packs. So these are just some of the different pack arts that I've been collecting recently. So I like how versatile this case is. It's obviously, you know, very well padded. It has a lot of foam up there to ensure that it doesn't wobble as much. And yeah, overall, these usually these slab cases, the build quality is pretty good, pretty sturdy. And yeah, I'm pretty confident that these cards wouldn't get really damaged. So yeah, if you're looking for a way to store your PSA graded cards, this would definitely be one of, I would say, the top solutions. However, you know, storing your PSA cards, you can store it in different boxes, store it in, well, I know a lot of people stored it in the PSA boxes that they have. Or you can just literally, I know people that put it in a shoe container. Whatever option works. But for me, I honestly, I just like how clean it looks, the layout, everything, and even like having my collection goals, I guess, all together at one spot is very satisfying. Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the video. So we went over different ways to store your cards, from loose cards, your bulk cards, to your better cards and binders maybe, or different storage containers. And ultimately, graded cards, you probably want to get something a little bit more sturdy, since, you know, those graded cards are probably quite valuable, is why you kind of got it graded in the first place. So I would imagine you would want to kind of protect it as best as you can. So I think this is definitely one of the top solutions. However, this is probably, oh yeah, like I said before, one of the more expensive solutions. But yeah, this is probably the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions on any of the things that I've shown today in the video, feel free to leave a comment. And yeah, if you guys can also let me know how you guys store your cards. I'd be really interested, as I'm always trying to learn from others in the community as well. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, or if you learned, you know, a little something, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. And I'll see everyone in the next video. Peace.